sharing successes and disappointments, learning from one another. Get a Be Better health plan from Beacon and get simple and affordable medical benefits so you can build a better team. Call 440-4447 or log on to beacon.co.tt for more information.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
And welcome to Network News for today, Tuesday, the 14th day of September 2021. I'm Odette Campbell. In the headlines this evening, mysterious container positioned at health facility. GBN's Christelina John asks the Minister for Health for an explanation. Roman Catholic Diocese confirms 10 deaths at church-managed geriatric care facilities. Health Ministry skirts suggestions of mandating that caregivers get vaccinated amid mass weekend deaths at homes for the elderly. Grenada in the red again as the CDC says, don't fly. Church leaders give assurance that despite COVID-19, God is in the midst of us and that the nation will get through this crisis. A Grenadian youth gives wings to dreams of flying through literary masterpiece. Coming up in the region this evening and in sports, St. Lucia Kings reap sweet revenge against Trinbago Knight Riders who knocked them out in last year's semi-finals. And we would tell you when we start to make the probe around the globe, grieving family holds vigil while demanding answers for a cause of death of Guyanese nurse. We will bring you the details of those and other stories after this message.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
And now for the news in detail. Well, the stories are becoming more difficult to relate to you as the days wear on. Tonight, the picture gets no better. As health authorities say it's going to be a long night, is the figurative manner of speech for a difficult period. What's known this evening is that it has been long, sleepless nights for several Grenadian families as they get calls saying their loved ones have crossed to the great beyond. Tonight, though, there is a commonality among the grieving. Their relatives were being cared for at homes for the elderly. The Ministry of Health today confirmed reports of multiple deaths at these care facilities. Reports making the round Monday said that several people at the Hilarion home had died as a result of complications related to COVID-19. GBN's Rena Pear Thomas attended this morning's post-cabinet brief and sought answers.
we understand that the Hilarion home between Saturday and Monday, 10 elderly persons would have died. Also, persons in the Richmond home will continue to be affected by COVID-19 as it relates to them actually being pronounced positive. Can the minister or the doctors speak to that?
Yeah, Dr. Charles and myself take this personally because we personally reached out to the homes. I personally spent time with some of the managers of these private homes begging and pleading for them to get their staff, themselves, and most definitely their residents, who are some of our most vulnerable in our society, vaccinated to give them a fighting chance. But the vulnerable persons from those homes, 10 of whom have paid a price. And this was not necessary because we all saw what happened in other homes.
GBN pressed for answers on what the health ministry was doing to ensure that the workers at these homes do not contribute to the infection of the residents.
The homes, majority of homes are private. And it is for the employer to implement. We have made suggestions. We said for homes, all employees should be vaccinated, and all residents should be vaccinated. But we could not force that. So we were not able, within the powers that we have legally, to enforce. We could only beg and plead.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says it's no time for finger pointing.
There'll be time to look back and point fingers and cast blame and do. There may be time for that in the future, but right now we are more concerned with saving the persons that remain and not trying to chase down and punish, at least not at this stage. That is not a priority right now.
GBN also called the Hilarion home for a comment on the matter, but was told the manager was not available for any comment at this time. Health officials used the opportunity to reiterate the need for increased vaccination rates. Health Minister Nicholas Steele gave the assurance that his ministry has full stock of the AstraZeneca vaccines, which is contrary to comments being made in the public domain.
We have enough doses of both vaccines in order to give persons their first and second dose, categorically. And we would like individuals out there to stop spreading malicious rumors that is preventing us from having a successful vaccination policy.
Health Minister Nicholas Steele. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
Well, Rena was in search of answers all day, and late this afternoon we got word from the Roman Catholic Diocese. It has confirmed the deaths at the senior citizens' homes, which is responsible. In a release on Tuesday afternoon, the Catholic Bishop, Reverend Clyde Harvey, said that at the Hilarion home there have been 8 confirmed COVID-related deaths, with an additional 2 deaths, the cause of which could not be confirmed at that time. Of the remaining 21 residents, 16 were confirmed positive for COVID-19. 6 of the residents have been fully vaccinated. The complement of 16 staff has been reduced to 6 at the moment, with 10 in isolation at home. 8 of the regular staff have tested positive. Over the Hillsview home for the aged, 2 deaths have been confirmed as COVID-19 related. 8 residents confirmed as positive active. 2 of the persons are vaccinated. 6 of the 25 residents have been fully vaccinated. Of a staff of 26, 10 are fully vaccinated, with another 3 having had 1 dose. Of the 7 positive cases, 5 are fully vaccinated. No COVID-related deaths have been recorded at the St. Martin's home for the aged. There are 7 positive cases there. Of the 27 residents, only 5 have not been vaccinated. We will continue to follow that story and bring you updates as they become available. Preparedness is key, and it's apparent the island's health authorities have that in mind as they forecast the possibility that a death toll from COVID-19 will trigger a need for additional mortuary space. GBN got wind of a container being positioned on the compound of one of the island's health facilities. Kristalina John has been in pursuit of answers.
Families are losing their loved ones daily to COVID-19. The death toll has climbed 35, with people already grieving. Others are now plunged into panic mode at the site of what will be a storage bank for COVID deaths. Speculations are rife that a 40-foot container sitting right at the back of the Monge Mental Hospital was placed there for people who die from COVID-19. It may be considered mysterious as no one is sure of its purpose. GBN was told that the container arrived there during the course of the day Tuesday. GBN contacted the Minister for Health, Nicholas Steele, for answers.
There's a place there. What is it? Do you ask me a specific question? I'll give you a specific answer.
Okay, I'm asking about a 40-foot white container that appears to be a refrigerated container sitting at the back of the Monge Hospital. Have you any knowledge of that container going there today? And what is the purpose of that container, sir?
What is the purpose of that container?
Yeah, what would it be used for?
Kristalina, I want you to be direct with me. I am aware of a container today because I've received the same reports, questions, concerns, etc. That is a strong possibility. If you do the maths and you see how many persons have died outside of the normal deaths, that is a strong possibility. It was placed there by one of the funeral homes. They asked if they could put it on Ministry of Health property.
And that was the location that was chosen?
Yes. The ones that, so they would have to, they are inundated and are planning and expecting. So I hope we don't have to use it, but we do have to plan for these things, and it is at their request, not ours, their request.
It is even more disturbing as people have reflected on the situation in the U.S. and other parts of the world that have been hard hit by the virus. Containers upon containers of dead bodies had to be refrigerated as the morgues were overwhelmed. Kristalina John, GBN News.
Well, reports of close to 24 deaths of residents at 2 care facilities have caused many persons to give pause. Some are of the view that since no visitors have been allowed in recent times in keeping with the COVID-19 regulations, it means that a loophole exists somewhere in the system. Janelle McDonald reports on the view that it may be time for vaccine mandates in some sectors.
A popular view in circulation relates to the possible need to make it mandatory that all caregivers in these homes should be vaccinated. The school of thought is that this will reduce the potential of transmitting the virus to residents if they become infected and then enter these facilities. Dominican business consultant Mr. Michelle Williams told GBN's Beyond the Headlines program that he thinks mandate has been made into a dirty word and it's to the detriment of societal good.
I think people have gotten carried away with what mandates actually mean. The government is not going to put people on the side of the road to stick you with a needle as you pass because they say everybody should get a vaccine. And so, we need to just chill out a little bit. There are mandates all over the place. You go to school, there's a mandate that says that you have to wear a uniform. You go to work, there's a mandate that says that you have to wear the uniform and you have to come to work at a certain time and you have to behave in a certain way to maintain your employment. So the word mandate has become a dirty word now, as if this is some Gestapo type of activity that we're talking about, where people are going to oppress people to do something that they don't want to do.
He says, whether it's acknowledged or not, mandates already aspects in various facets of life.
And the reality is that we live in societies where we are subject to various mandates for us to get through our day all the time. And not everything has to be a statute. It has to be an operation of law. It has to be an operation of practice. It has to be acceptable behavior. There is a mandate that you cannot talk loud in a church. Otherwise, they will ask you to leave. And we have accepted all those things. As Ms. Baez said, when your child had to go to school, you had to bring your vaccination card to show the principal and the teacher that you had all your shots to come in because it was a communal area and you did not want measles or anything to spread for a primary school. And we adhered to those things.
Mr. William thinks there is too much negative chatter in the public sphere and that it's time people chill and take their fears down a notch.
This is new. This is fresh. People don't know about it. And so people are always hesitant when authorities tell them that they should do something, even if it's for their own benefit. But I think we just need to take down the fright down a notch and realize that if this is not going to go away, it's really going to become like any other mandate that we have to deal with. And I think we will be fine. I don't think we should be scared that anybody's going to stick us with a needle if you pass on the street. I don't think that's what the mandate means.
Business consultant Michelle Williams. For GBN News, Janelle McDonald.
As the tally continues daily, the country's chief medical officer is pulling no punches. Dr. Sean Charles says the coronavirus has struck its own punch on Grenada, and it's time that the nation takes note that it has come to the island like a hurricane and carrying a boxer who is not about to dance around the ring.
Why I said that many of us may have been blindsided is that this is our really first true wave. While there are many countries that are on their third or on their fourth, this is our really first true wave, and it did not hold back its punches. It hit us with everything. So it means that yes, we staggered a bit, but we have to get our footing and we have to start hitting back.
And he has this answer for those who still believe that the virus is the seasonal post-carnival flu.
No, it is not. This is something entirely different, and this is something really serious. All right. Yes, some of the symptoms are familiar. Persons get fever and chills. They get a cough. They feel fatigue. They feel body aches and headaches and all of that. Similar symptoms. All right. They may get a sore throat, loss of taste and smell, runny nose, and all of that. All right. These are the symptoms that this disease is manifesting. However, there are persons who go on to experience what we call warning signs. And when those are present at any time, you need to seek medical care. You need to do so immediately so that we can stem the tide of that we are presently seeing. And those warning signs include trouble breathing. If you start experiencing trouble breathing, this is something serious. This is not something to wait. All right, you start experiencing persistent chest pain. The person become confused. They're very dehydrated, as was mentioned. All right, it's very difficult to wake. All right, if there is changes in coloration of the skin, especially blue or grayish. All right, the person is difficult to arouse. These are warning signs. Persons, they should not wait. Medical attention should be sought immediately.
And this is Network News. The next story we'll tell you about is finding some peace in the midst of the COVID storm. The Church Speaks. We'll have that after the break.
Dear customer, please help us limit the potential impact of COVID-19. If you have cold, flu, or COVID-19 symptoms, please postpone your visit to Grenlec. We recommend using online banking to make payments, available through Co-op Bank, Republic Bank, and FCIB. You can also use check drop boxes at each of our locations. For bill balances and other information, call 237. For additional support, email customersupport@grenlec.com.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you. Across Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology. By the end of 2021, the new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
We've gone through a season of such darkness in this world with COVID-19. We've seen such terrible sadness. We've seen global death. And now we see a light in the tunnel with the vaccination programs globally. And, still the light is not totally bright. But I want to tell teachers it's a great time to be a teacher. It's a great time to be an educator. I want to tell children it's a great and a wonderful time to learn. And I think God has given us an opportunity to be in a different kind of learning space. And I think that we should take all opportunities that we have as we move into a new academic year, 2021 to 2022. I want to wish everyone the best. I want to ask God's blessings on our education sector. And I look forward to great and marvelous things coming out of all of this, even after COVID.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
Lucky customers are enjoying free drinks, free electricity, free fuel, extra cash account, free internet, cable, and data, all for 1 year. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion. With just 2 draws remaining, you can be the lucky winner in August and September for property or vehicle insurance for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, and the big free groceries for 1 year. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Sol Gas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling, Grenlick, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
We're ready! Cricket is we game, don't know quite the same. We still display our passion, love all over the Caribbean. Can you feel the energy? Team spirit and unity. Feel the soul of the Caribbean. Courage to stand as one. Yeah, yeah. Play it safe. We the best, yeah, the best, yeah, the best, yeah, the best, yeah. With passion, courage, and love, we in this together now.
Republic Bank, official banking partner of CPL 2021.
Welcome back. As the coronavirus continues to cause deaths and disrupt billions of lives globally, people may turn to religious groups for support in dealing with the disaster. In this report, Rena Pear-Thomas shares the thoughts of religious leaders on COVID-19 and how members can calm their fears and deal with the challenges ahead.
As many still struggle to respond to the economic, social, and health crisis due to the pandemic, people are turning towards their religious faith for guidance. Several religious leaders and groups have issued their declaration of support and solidarity with the government's strategies aimed at curbing COVID-19. And while the science is there to point out the various factors that will lead to the eradication of the spread of the virus, Bishop Esther Batiste of the IPA International Assemblies believes that the government's error is leaving out God in the equation.
And I believe that the church has listened to the science, and we have listened to all of the things out there that will make sense and good judgment. And so what I think was a fundamental error across government is not so much that they're trying to preserve life, but they are moving away from God. And when we move away from God to our dependence on man, our dependence in the expert of man, that is where the error comes. And I think the church kind of stays on the sideline a little bit because God is not in the picture.
In the face of illness and suffering, faith and spirituality is a focus that helps to overcome the mental crisis as well as facilitate adaptation to the disease or the restrictions resulting from it. Reverend Benedict Newton of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies is a pharmacist by profession. He gave his prescription to help quiet the internal disquiet being faced by many.
A prescription for mental, emotional, and spiritual health and well-being. It's recorded in the scriptures, Philippians chapter 4, from verse 4 to 9, in summary. He's saying to us, the apostle is saying to us, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand.
Many still struggle to decide on whether they should get vaccinated. Dr. Corey Marshall of the Seventh-day Adventist Ministry in Connecticut, New York, gave his thoughts on what Jesus will do in this time of crisis.
If Jesus were here in this time physically as we were, I believe that Jesus would look around, He would see what's going on. I believe Jesus would be vaccinated.
Faith leaders say in difficult periods such as the present pandemic, people are much more open to faith-based solutions, including prayer and other religious practices, to help them gain control over the situation. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Thought-provoking words. If Jesus was here, He might have been vaccinated. Food for thought. Well, let's move on to travel. If you are thinking about traveling anytime soon, it is important to check your destination as conditions associated change at little notice. COVID-19 is being blamed for these adjustments at the spur of the moment.
Grenada is once again in the red, as it is one of 2 Caribbean countries listed as countries not to travel to. Travel advisories have been raised to level 4 or do not travel. Yesterday, the U.S. Center for Disease Control, the CDC, added more island destinations on the very high COVID-19 travel risk list. Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, Mauritius, Albania, and Serbia on Monday moved to the level 4 COVID-19 or very high category on the CDC's evolving list of travel notices. The CDC advised people against traveling to locations which have been so designated. The agency advised that anyone who must travel should ensure that they are fully vaccinated. The CDC's travel notices range from level 1, which is low, to level 4, very high. Countries with more than 500 cases per 100,000 residents in the past 28 days are placed on the red alert listing. Up to Monday, Grenada recorded 2,063 active cases. Christelina John, GBN News.
Grenadians in the diaspora are meeting at this hour to discuss ways in which they could lend their support as the country continues to grapple with COVID-19. Items on the agenda include COVID-19 update, overview of priority needs, donations coordination and protocols. And Mr. Derek James is the head of the local office of Diaspora Affairs. He spoke with us earlier this evening as he prepared for tonight's meeting.
The Office of Diaspora Affairs here in Grenada is here to support them and to coordinate all the donations that will be sent to Grenada. Because we just don't want everybody just buying anything that's not needed and shipping things that we don't know when it reaches, we don't know who it's going to and so on. So we want to make sure that we coordinate all the donations and also to tell the diaspora that there are point persons in the different regions, point organizations in the regions that the donations should go through. So we have a better coordination of it, and we'll be able to monitor what's coming, where it's coming from, the value of it, so we could go back and say this is what came from the different regions and so on.
Mr. James says that individuals and organizations have already started making some contributions.
I want to use the opportunity to say thanks to the members of the diaspora who came forward and requested that they get an opportunity to support. And I want to say the individuals and organizations who did that. And so the tomorrow's meeting is a cry to our nationals out there to help in this difficult time, because as you know, this thing is for all of us, and also not just in terms of support in material, but also the area of calling family members here in Grenada and encourage them to take the vaccine and encourage them to follow the protocol that is given by the government.
And as we said, that meeting is being held as we speak. It's being held virtually. This is Network News. Still to come, we have a young lady who is giving wings to dreams of flying, and she's doing so on the literary platform. We'll tell you about her and her story in just a little bit.
5 lucky customers are enjoying free drinks, free electricity, free fuel, extra cash account, free internet, cable, and data, all for 1 year. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion. With just 2 draws remaining, you can be the lucky winner in August and September for property or vehicle insurance for 1 year, free cooking gas for 1 year, and the big free groceries for 1 year. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Sol Gas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carrot Brewery, Coca-Cola Grenada Bottling, Grunlick, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny, and Supreme. Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year big promotion.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
by Sissons. Color by Sissons.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, Flow has been the leading telecommunications provider for decades. As we continue to work for you, we are modernizing our fixed network and transitioning all customers to our latest technology by the end of 2021. The new network offers customers faster speeds, better quality, and a more reliable service experience with faster fault detection and repair time. Upgrading to the new network is free. Just visit any of our retail outlets. Look out for sales agents in your community. Call our virtual store at 444-3569 or send us a text via WhatsApp at 407-3569. Remember, as we transition to our new network, we are simultaneously shutting down our older network. To avoid service interruption, arrange to make your move to the new network as soon as possible. Flow, committed to connecting our communities.
And now it's time for a story about Zola and Sage. The tides are turning for women in aviation, says Grenadian author Kiana Bob. She recently published an intriguing book to spur the interest of girls in the aviation field. We'll get that interesting story from Krista Campbell.
Up, up, and away. Zola and Sage enjoy watching planes fly over their houses and want to know if women fly them too. They asked their uncle the big question, who then had a few tricks up his sleeve to answer them. What do you think? Can women fly planes too? That was an excerpt from Grenadian author Kiana Bubb's book, Adventures of Zola and the Sage, Women in Aviation. Bub shared what sparked the creation of her work.
A friend of mine from Bahamas, she just finished getting a pilot license, so she was working with a private company in Bahamas. And she went to work one day, and while she was working, like a few of the guys she was working around, they were telling her that she shouldn't be flying plane, women shouldn't be flying plane, and exactly my reaction. And she didn't pay her way for flight schools, like guys paid it for her. So I'm like, I was actually disappointed to see that coming from men this year. And I was like, nah, that needs to change. We cannot have the little boys, we cannot have the little girls growing up with this mentality. So I went ahead to pen the book like one time, same time. Everything, like the entire book from start to finish was written in that moment.
Women have made a significant contribution to aviation since the Wright brothers' first 12-second flight in 1903. Today, women pilots fly for various airlines to fly in the military and in space. Despite these strides made by women in aviation, Bob says she penned Adventures of Zola and the Sage to spur the interest of girls about the aviation profession.
It's generally a job that doesn't have much ladies in throughout the world, air traffic control. And I thought it was nice to write a book on aviation to add all of that together to, get girls as well to join the aviation field on a whole, and probably try to have a look at air traffic control to, get an idea of what it is to, join the field. It's a really nice job. I really, really, really love it.
Krista Campbell, GBN News.
And now she makes me feel I want to learn just how to fly. This is Network News. Let's take a look at what's caught under the lens. I think we have a sugary treat for you this evening in ISO.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISO is brought to you by Clearvision.
Hey, September is just around the corner, so let's see.
Booklets, check! Bag, check! Tablet, yes! Doctor, check! Eye check!
Clearvision Eye Center is offering all students a free eye examination.
For the holiday?
Yeah, man, and they have the best prices on glasses. I hear they have glasses as low as $450.
But it's only for 1 month.
Boy, let me go, I can't miss that. Clearvision Eye Center, keeping students focused so that we can see the world with a clearer vision.
Can you guess what the young man is holding? If you guessed sugarcane, you are correct. This young man is posing with his grandmother's harvest. Our ISO reporter says the sugarcane is 21 joints long and it is as thick as an adult wrist. We thank our ISO reporter for this captivating submission. Continue to send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And still to come from us, we look at what's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. Yes, the CPL action is down to the wire on Wednesday. Do stay with us, we'll tell you about that. We're looking ahead.
It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Borrow up to $10,000 for all your needs. School supplies, staycation, home renovations, appliances or furniture. You can have it all with a summer everything loan. With competitive interest rates and same-day approvals, you can't beat this loan special. Not a member? Join today to get onto this exciting offer. It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Apply today and take advantage of this exciting offer. Visit the nearest Communal branch or call us at 440-1755 for more information. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
How do you choose your toilet paper? Just because it's soft and nice. That's how I choose my toilet paper. Made right here in the Isle of Spice. Cherish space off Harbor Bay. Super value every day. The price is right and locally they're made. Support local when you purchase Cherish and other quality brands from Grenada Paper Products.
Good evening, sporting fans. The stars are all aligned, set in motion for an exciting finish to the CPL T20 2021, and GBN will be on the ball tomorrow, bringing you the finals. Let's take things in order. We start with the first game of today, and then we'll bring you the highlights of what was an exciting finish this evening, just before the newscast. St. Lucia Kings, they reaped sweet revenge against Trinbago Knight Riders, who knocked them out in the 2020 finals. And what we can tell you is that it was just a sweet game in truth and indeed. And what we found is that Kings, they were the first team to confirm their place in the CPL League finals. They defeated defending champs Trinbago Knight Riders. The both teams faced off last year's finals. However, it was the Knight Riders who ushered another victory. This time, however, the Kings got the better of their opponents, winning by 21 runs. A blistering masterclass performance from Mark Dale, which included 6 sixes and 5 fours, spot on the St. Lucia Kings as they reached 205 for 4 in the semi-final. Dale smashed 78 from just 44 balls to one-sidedly lead the Kings while Grenada's Andre Fletcher could only spectacle before Royston Chase replaced him at the wicket. Chase added 36 runs with the Kings batting at 1 point, 128 for 3 in the 14th over. Trinbago Knight Riders were restricted to 184. Let's look back at that very intriguing game.
Really propelled them through the middle overs. None better than that from Royston Chase. And Sunil Narayan came into the attack looking for a wicket, and he found one. The wicket of Mark Dale. Royston Chase was fortunate to be reproved. Akil Hussain grasping that opportunity, but not long after. And very next ball, Dinesh Ramdan made absolutely no mistake.
And Akil Hussain was the happiest man on the field at that time. But Tim David and David Visa pummeled the bowling in the last 4 overs. 70 runs came off those overs. T20 cricket at its very best with its 6 hitting, boundary finding. 8 sixes, hero maximums in that last 4 over piece. Good pitch, and bowlers were made to work and struggle.
And then a short while ago, it was the determiner between the Patriots. Who were the patriotic? Who were the Warriors? The Patriots and the Warriors, the most latest showdown in what was indeed an exciting clincher for the other place in the final tomorrow. Let's look back at how that played out as well.
Surface has been an excellent surface, but he said he enjoyed batting with Chris Gayle as well. That's the start of that partnership that consisted of 76 runs. And he said something interesting. He said, Gayle can go after it and I can go after it as well. We can go together. That's my philosophy, if conditions are good. 23 of the Odette Smith over. A lesson for the young man from the veteran.
Yeah, Imran Tahir tried in vain as well in the early parts inside the power play. Lewis just picking him left, right and centre. Naveen ul Haq with a slowish one down the leg side. Gayle went downtown off Tahir. And then he fell. Catch to Shimron Hetmeyer off the bowling of Sinclair, and we saw some acrobatics as well. Don't try that at home, folks. It is not good for you. Evan Lewis just continued on. You know when he gets it, the head stays down like that. Beautiful swing of the bat. And he just continues to impress, to time the ball beautifully. The score from 76 through to 164, courtesy of some big blows, and then Bravo went.
In grand style as well. Stumps went, bat went, and then Odette Smith followed that up with the wicket of Fabian Allen for naught. But Shilfane Rutherford showed a little glimpse of why his start to the season was so good. Finished off quite rightly by Evan Lewis, to the jubilation of the team and the supporters.
Moving on now, a commendable performance. The Under-20 Spice Girls gave a good showing in their opening match of the CONCACAF Under-20 Championships. Despite losing 5-2 against Suriname, the Spice Girls displayed great prowess on the field and even struck fair on their opponents, as Renelia Bubb scored a scorcher of a free kick in the 9th minute. Down 4-1 at halftime, Shania Johnson converted a second goal for Grenada in the 58th. Here's a recap of that Renelia Bubb superb goal. What a euphoric moment. Grenada's next match is against Belize on Friday from 5:30 in the afternoon. And then let's go to a season finisher. As the athletic season climaxes, Grenada's Kirani James finished his season in style. He took a win in a meet to record 44.6 seconds at the Memorial Boris Sahiva meeting in Zagreb, Croatia. Isaac McQualla placed second in a time of 45.15 seconds. Eldorado Scotty took third with a season's best 45.15 0.30. What a comeback for Grenada's Kirani James. And that takes us to the end of the sporting line this evening. Caribbean hookup, and we start in Guyana, where a grieving family is in search of answers. Let's go over to the Guyanese mainland for this report.
The atmosphere was a somber one on Sunday afternoon as the family of nurse Vanessa Maynard gathered in front of the facility where the healthcare professional who had dedicated all of her adult life to a noble profession took her last breath on September 9, 11 days after she was admitted there. With photos of the 56-year-old clutched to their chests, the relatives had two main aims: motivating the relevant authorities to launch an urgent investigation into the death of their loved one and sending a clarion call for the urgent need for improvements in the operations of the hospital. The relatives are adamant that Nurse Maynard's death was as a result of gross negligence on the part of the institution. Former Health Minister Dr. Karen Cummins was among those at the vigil to show support. She reiterated that the entire episode sadly underlines the failure of government's ad hoc plan to combat the spread of COVID-19 and reduce its impact. She lamented that after giving 38 years to the profession she loved, this would be the fate of Nurse Maynard. Dr. Cummins urged government to take shame out of their eyes and come up with a well-thought-out, workable, comprehensive response to the pandemic, which is ripping through Guyana.
It's one sad story after another. And we're stopping by now in St. Lucia, where we have a question. Spooky tourism interest? Let's see what that is about.
Unfortunately, with the increase of the local spread, I think it's fair to say that you probably will see some concerns coming out of our source markets, i.e. the US and the UK mainly.
Minister Fernandez explains how this could impact on-air arrivals.
Vis-a-vis putting Antigua on another threshold, which would make it where they would advise the people perhaps to reconsider coming to Antigua. So there are repercussions for this.
The minister reveals efforts have been intensified to ensure all hotels are adhering to the safety regulations. The minister explains teams have begun regular checks on hotels in a collaboration with the Ministries of Health and Tourism. The Health Ministry then acts as is necessary on these reports.
We have now asked them also to copy us on these reports so that we, within the Ministry of Tourism, can follow up also from our end to get in touch with the hotel if there's an infringement and say, look, you got to tighten up on this aspect of it, and to ensure that they do.
Another aspect is that approved tours are operated as an extension of the hotel's biosecure bubble. Fernandez reminds tourism is the country's main revenue earner and stresses the need for the populace to follow the protocols and to get vaccinated to curtail transmission and the possibility of another closure of the industry. Sherilyn Beezer reporting for ABS News.
Tourism taking a big hit as a result of COVID-19. This is Network News. We'll remind you of the top stories in a little bit. Recapping our main stories this evening, we told you about a mysterious container positioned at a health facility. GBN Christina John, she asked the Minister for Health. He said it has been placed there by a local funeral home and it is being prepared just in case, peradventure, there are further increases in deaths as a result of COVID-19. The Roman Catholic Diocese confirms 10 deaths at church-managed geriatric care facilities. The Health Ministry skirts suggestions of mandating that caregivers get vaccinated amid mass weekend death at homes for the elderly. Grenada in the red again as the CDC says, don't fly. Church leaders give assurance that despite COVID-19, God is in the midst of us and that the nation will get through this crisis. And Grenadian youth gives wings to dreams of flying through a literary masterpiece. We did hear that very interesting story. In sports this evening, St. Lucia Kings, they reap sweet revenge against Trinbago Knight Riders, who had knocked them out in last year's finals of the CPL. And then around the globe, grieving family holds vigil while demanding answers for the cause of death of a Guyanese nurse. That's the news for today, Tuesday. I'm Odette Campbell on behalf of the entire news team saying we'll see you again tomorrow.